The great hall stretched for miles beneath a dome of pure crystal. 12 different species sat around a table that could hold a small city. Each representative looked different from the others. Some had scales, others had fur, and a few glowed, with their own light. They were the Galactic Hegemony Council, the rulers of known space. Commander Vextar stood at the center of the hall. His reptilian skin was dark green and covered in thick scales. His yellow eyes moved slowly across the gathered aliens as he spoke. Honored council members, we face a new threat. A species that calls itself humanity has spread across 47 star systems in just 300 of their years. This is faster than any species in our recorded history. Murmurs filled the hall. The council members shifted in their seats. Some species took thousands of years to colonize even 10 systems. 47 systems in 300 years was unheard of. Vextar continued. They are aggressive beyond measure. Every species they encounter becomes either their ally or their enemy. There is no middle ground with humans. They do not bow to superior forces. They do not accept their place in the natural order. The floating representative of the ethereal collective spoke with a voice like wind chimes. What makes them so dangerous? They achieved faster than light travel only recently. Their technology is primitive compared to ours. Vextar activated a holographic display. Images of human cities appeared in the air above the council table. The cities were massive, sprawling across entire continents. Billions of humans moved through the streets like insects in a hive. Look at their population growth, Vextar said. In 1,000 years, they went from 1 billion to over 50 billion across their colonies. They reproduce faster than any known species. They adapt to any environment. Desert worlds, ice planets, gas giant moons. Humans can live anywhere. A massive creature with 6 arms and rock-like skin slammed one fist on the table. The Granite Kings conquered 100 systems over 10,000 years. How can these soft mammals be more dangerous than us? Vextar's eyes glowed brighter. Because they learn from every battle. Watch this. The hologram changed to show a space battle. Human ships faced off against a fleet of insectoid vessels. The human ships were smaller and weaker, but they moved in patterns that made no sense to the watching aliens. This was humanity's first encounter with the hive swarm, Vextar explained. The humans lost 70% of their fleet. Any normal species would have retreated and asked for peace terms. The image shifted to show another battle. This time, human ships used completely different tactics. They spread apart and attacked, from multiple directions at once. This was their second battle with the hive swarm. Only 6 months later, the humans studied every moment of their defeat. They changed everything about how they fight. The result? Total victory. The council members leaned forward. The floating ethereal spoke again. They adapted their entire military strategy in 6 months? Not just military strategy, Vextar said. They redesigned their ships. They trained new pilots. They even changed the genetic structure of their soldiers to better handle the stress of space combat. 6 months. A creature that looked like a walking tree rustled its leaves. Impossible. Genetic modification takes centuries to perfect. Not for humans, Vextar replied. They call it emergency, evolution. When faced with extinction, humans can change themselves in ways that should take millennia. They have no respect for natural law. The hologram showed human colonies now. Massive industrial complexes covered entire planets. Humans worked alongside robots and artificial intelligences. Their cities reached into the clouds and deep underground. Every human world is a fortress, Vextar continued. Every human civilian can become a soldier in days. Their children learn to fight before they learn to read. They have turned their entire species into a weapon. The leader of the council, an ancient being made of pure energy, finally spoke. Its voice echoed through every mind in the hall. What do you recommend, Commander Vextar? Vextar straightened. Complete extermination. Every human world must be destroyed. Every human ship burned. Every trace of their existence wiped from the galaxy. If we allow even one human to survive, they will find a way to destroy us all. The council fell silent. Extermination was the ultimate punishment. It had been used only 12 times in the hegemony's history, always against species that threatened the natural order of the galaxy. The humans have done nothing to us directly, the ethereal said. Should we not try diplomacy first? Vextar laughed, a sound like grinding stone. Honored ethereal, humans do not understand diplomacy as we do. They see every negotiation as a battle to be won. They will agree to our terms, then find ways around them. Give them a century, and they will be knocking on our capital world's doors. The tree-like being rustled again. Perhaps we could contain them? Build barriers around their systems? With what? Vextar demanded. We have tried to contain 12 species in our history. All 12 broke free within 500 years. Humans would break free in 50. The rock creature spoke up. What about the Void Hunters? If this species is as dangerous as you claim, we will need our best forces. Vextar nodded. That is exactly what I recommend. Send the Void Hunters. Send all of them. A chill ran through the hall. The Void Hunters were the hegemony's ultimate weapon. They had never failed a mission in 3,000 years. Entire species had surrendered just upon hearing they were coming. War Prime Nethgul commands the Void Hunters, the energy being said. He has overseen the extinction of 7 species. If anyone can handle these humans, it is him. The vote was unanimous. Every council member agreed. The human species would be completely destroyed. Meanwhile, on Luna, Earth's moon, Dr. Kim Hyun sat before a wall of monitors. Numbers and graphs filled every screen. He was tracking energy patterns in deep space, looking for signs of new stellar phenomena. Something had been bothering him for weeks. There were energy readings at the edge of the solar system that made no sense. They appeared and disappeared, without pattern. Sometimes they were strong, sometimes weak. Kim had run every test he could think of, but nothing explained the readings. Lieutenant Park Mina entered his lab carrying 2 cups of coffee. She was young for a military officer, but her understanding of space defense systems was better than anyone else on Luna. Still looking at those ghost signals, she asked, handing him a cup. Kim nodded. They are getting stronger and more frequent. I have been tracking them for 37 days now. Whatever is causing them is getting closer to our system. Park Mina looked at the displays. To her, they looked like normal background radiation. Space was full of energy from dying stars and colliding asteroids. Could be anything. Solar wind, variations maybe, or radiation from that new pulsar in Sector 7. Kim shook his head. I have filtered out all known sources. This is something new, something artificial. Artificial? Park Mina set down her coffee. You mean alien? I do not know what else it could be. The patterns are too regular to be natural, too complex to be random. Park Mina studied the readings more carefully. She was trained to spot potential threats to Earth's colonies. If Kim was right about these being artificial signals, it could mean first contact with an alien species. Have you reported this to Earth Command? She asked. Kim hesitated. Not yet. I want to be certain. If I am wrong, I will look foolish. If I am right, if you are right, we need to know about it immediately, Park Mina finished. Neither of them knew that their instruments were detecting the approach of 10,000 Void Hunters aboard their flagship, the Deathbringer. The massive vessel was still weeks away from entering the solar system, but its exotic engines created energy distortions that sensitive equipment could detect. War Prime Nethgul stood on the bridge of his ship, studying reports about humanity. The intelligence was limited, but it painted a picture of a typical young species. They had basic technology, small fleets, and limited military experience. How many ships do they have? He asked his second-in-command. Approximately 2,000, War Prime. Most are cargo vessels converted for basic defense, perhaps 50 true warships. Nethgul nodded. 2,000 ships against his force of 10,000 elite warriors seemed almost unfair, and their weapons. Primitive kinetic projectiles and basic energy weapons. Nothing that can penetrate our shields. Excellent. We will complete this mission quickly and return to the Council with news of another successful extinction. The War Prime had no way of knowing that his intelligence was already 3 years out of date. In that time, humans had built another 1,000 ships and developed new weapons based on captured alien technology from their encounters with other species. As the Deathbringer and its escort fleet moved closer to the solar system, Dr. Kim Hyun's readings grew stronger. He finally made the decision to contact Earth Command. "This is Luna Observatory calling Earth Defense Command," he said into his communicator. "We have detected unknown energy signatures approaching the outer solar system. Recommend immediate investigation." The response came quickly. "Luna Observatory, this is Admiral Choi Yuna. Send all data immediately. We are dispatching scout ships to investigate." Neither the humans nor the aliens knew that this would be the last peaceful moment either species would have for many. The Void Hunter fleet emerged from hyperspace like a swarm of metal death. 10,000 ships materialized near Neptune in perfect battle formation. Each vessel was twice the size of the largest human warship. Their dark hulls absorbed light, making them look like holes cut in space itself. War Prime Nethgul stood on the bridge of the Deathbringer and gazed at the inner solar system. 9 planets orbited a yellow star, just as his intelligence reports had described. Several planets showed signs of human habitation. This would be easier than he had expected. "Begin the communication jamming," he ordered. "No human message must leave the system. When we are finished here, the galaxy will believe this species simply disappeared." Across the solar system, human communication networks went silent. Radio signals, quantum transmissions, and subspace channels all died at once. Every human colony was suddenly cut off from Earth and from each other. On Mars, Colonel Lee Jun was reviewing defense plans when his communications officer turned pale. "Sir, all external communications are down. We cannot reach Earth, Luna, or any of the outer colonies." Lee Jun had been a soldier for 20 years. He knew what total communication blackout meant. "Sound the alarm. Battle stations. All civilians. To the underground shelters immediately." The Red Planet's 3 million colonists had practiced this drill many times. Within an hour, every civilian was deep underground in reinforced bunkers. The surface belonged to the military now. War Prime. Nethgul activated his ship's communication system. His message broadcast on every human frequency across the solar system. "Humans of Sol System, I am War Prime Nethgul of the Void Hunters. The Galactic Hegemony Council has judged your species guilty of rapid expansion and aggressive behavior. The sentence is complete extinction. You have 1 solar day to consider your fate. Any who wish to die quickly should present themselves for immediate execution. Those who resist will suffer greatly before death." The message played over and over in every human language. On Earth, President Yoon Hana listened to the translation with a face like stone. She had spent her entire political career preparing for this moment. Humanity had always known that other intelligent species existed in the galaxy. Now they had found Earth. "How many ships?" she asked Admiral Choi Yuna. "Our scouts detected approximately 10,000 vessels before communications were cut. Each ship appears to be roughly twice the size of our largest cruisers. 10,000 ships against humanity's total fleet of 3,000. The numbers were bad, but not impossible. Are our colonies receiving the same message?" "We must assume so, Madam President. If they are jamming communications, they are likely broadcasting to all human settlements." On Mars, Colonel Lee Jun called his senior officers together. "They want us to surrender and die quietly. That is not going to happen. Every human who dies will take 10 of these aliens with them." His officers nodded grimly. Mars was the most heavily fortified human world after Earth. The planet's 6 military bases contained the latest human weapons and the best-trained soldiers in the colonial fleet. Dr. Kim Hyun worked frantically in his Luna laboratory. The alien ships were now close enough for detailed scanning. What he found made his blood run cold. "Park Mina, look at this," he called. Lieutenant Park Mina studied the sensor readings. Each alien ship carried weapons that could destroy cities with single shots. Their shields were stronger than anything humanity had ever seen. Worst of all, the ships themselves seemed to be made of materials that human science could barely identify. "How do we fight something like this?" she asked. Kim looked at her with determination in his eyes. "We learn. We adapt. We find their weaknesses." The first battle began 3 hours after the alien ultimatum ended. A human patrol of 12 ships encountered an alien scouting force near Jupiter. The human commander, Captain Song Dae, had served in the asteroid mining fleet for 10 years. He knew every rock and debris field in the outer system. "All ships scatter formation," he ordered. "Use the asteroid belt for cover. Make them come to us." The alien scouts were used to enemies who fought in organized formations. When the human ships spread out and disappeared among the asteroids, the aliens were confused. Their sensors could track the human ships, but they could not get clear shots without risking damage to their own vessels from asteroid impacts. Songdae waited until the first alien ship moved close to his position, then opened fire with everything he had. His converted mining ship carried plasma cutters designed to slice through solid rock. The alien shields absorbed most of the damage, but some energy got through. "Their shields have gaps," he broadcast on the emergency frequency. "Concentrated. Fire at close range can penetrate." The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, 4 alien ships were destroyed and the rest had retreated. Humanity had lost 8 ships, but they had learned something valuable. The aliens could be hurt. On Luna, Park Mina analyzed the battle recordings. The alien shields work by deflecting energy attacks, but when multiple ships fire at the same point simultaneously, the shields cannot handle the concentrated power. "Doctor?" Kim Hyun nodded. "We need to coordinate our attacks better. If we can get enough ships to focus their fire on single targets, we can win individual battles." Word of the first victory spread through the human colonies despite the communication blackout. Ship captains began developing new tactics based on what Captain Song Dae had discovered. War Prime Nethgul reviewed the battle reports with growing concern. His scouts had been destroyed by inferior ships using primitive weapons. This was not supposed to happen. "How did they penetrate our shields?" he demanded. His weapons officer, a creature with 4 arms and metallic skin, looked nervous. "They concentrated multiple weak attacks on single points. Our shields are designed to handle powerful individual attacks, not coordinated weak ones. Then adapt our shield frequencies. This must not happen again." "Yes, War Prime. But sir, there is something else. The humans did not fight like any species in our records. They used the asteroid field as a weapon, forcing our ships into positions where they could not maneuver properly." Nethgul's expression darkened. "Are you saying these primitives outsmarted the finest military force in the galaxy?" The weapons officer looked at the floor. "They used tactics we have never encountered before, War Prime." As the days passed, more skirmishes broke out across the solar system. Each battle taught the humans something new about their enemies. They learned that alien ships were faster, but less maneuverable. The alien weapons were more powerful but took longer to recharge. Most importantly, the aliens seemed to rely on standard tactics that could be predicted and countered. Admiral Choi Yuna coordinated the defense from Luna Command. She had received reports from every battle, and a pattern was emerging. "They fight like they have never faced real resistance," she told her staff. "Every battle follows the same pattern. Direct assault, overwhelming firepower, quick victory. When we do not follow their script, they struggle to adapt." Park Mina had been promoted to captain after her analysis helped win 3 separate engagements. Their commanders seem unwilling to change tactics even when the old ones fail. Almost like they cannot imagine losing. Dr. Kim Hyun had made another important discovery. "I have been analyzing their ship movements. They use quantum entanglement for coordination, but the system has a weakness. If we can disrupt their quantum field, at the right frequency, we can blind their coordination network." This breakthrough led to humanity's first major victory. A fleet of 50 human ships, led by Captain Song Dae, ambushed a much larger alien force near Saturn. Using Dr. Kim's disruption technique, they severed the aliens' communication network, and then attacked each ship individually. When the battle ended, 23 alien ships had been destroyed. The humans lost only 7 vessels. More importantly, they had captured intact alien technology for the first time. War Prime Nethgul stared at the tactical display showing his losses. In just 2 weeks of fighting, he had lost over 300 ships. 300 ships destroyed by a species that was supposed to be primitive and helpless. "Sir," his second-in-command said quietly, "perhaps we should request reinforcements from the Council." Nethgul's eyes burned with fury. "The Void Hunters have never needed reinforcements. We will crush these humans with our current forces." But, privately, the War Prime was beginning to understand that his intelligence about humanity had been completely wrong. These were not primitive creatures cowering before superior technology. They were learning from every encounter, adapting their tactics with frightening speed. On Earth, President Yoon Hana addressed the planet's population. "We face an enemy that wants to destroy our entire species, but we have shown them that humanity will not go quietly into the darkness. Every battle proves that we can stand against any threat. We will survive this, and we will make our enemies regret ever coming to our home." The war was far from over, but humanity had sent a clear message. They would not surrender. They would not retreat. And with every passing day, they were becoming more dangerous than the aliens had ever imagined possible. The hunters had expected to find easy prey. Instead, they had awakened something that would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. 3 months had passed since the first alien ship entered the solar system. The once proud Void Hunter fleet now controlled only Jupiter's outer moons. Half their ships floated as wreckage in the cold vacuum of space, destroyed by human weapons that should not have existed. War Prime Nethgul stood alone on his bridge, staring at tactical displays that showed nothing but failure. 5,000 ships lost to a species that barely understood faster-than-light travel. His reputation, built over 3,000 years of perfect victories, lay in ruins. Engineer Bei Su worked 18 hours a day in the underground factories of Mars. Around her, thousands of workers assembled weapons using technology stolen from destroyed alien ships. Each captured component taught humanity something new about galactic warfare. "The quantum resonance chambers are the key," she explained to Colonel Lee Jun. "Their weapons channel exotic energy through these crystals. If we can grow our own crystals using their pattern, we can build weapons just as powerful as theirs." Lee Jun watched as human workers installed the new weapons on converted mining ships. "How long until our entire fleet is upgraded?" 6 more weeks, Bei Su replied. "Then we stop running from them. Then we hunt them." On Luna, Dr. Kim Hyun had made breakthrough after breakthrough studying alien technology. Each captured ship revealed new secrets about how galactic civilizations built their tools of war. But his greatest discovery came from examining alien computer systems. "Park Mina, look at this," he called excitedly. Captain Park Mina, now one of humanity's most experienced combat leaders, studied the alien code on his screen. "What am I looking at?" Their entire fleet uses a single communication network. Every ship, every weapon, every shield generator connects to the same quantum field. If we can find the right frequency, we can disrupt their entire operation at once. Park Mina understood immediately. Turn their greatest strength into their greatest weakness. Exactly. But we need to get close to their command ship to make it work, very close. Meanwhile, in Earth's capital city, President Yoon Hana met with her top generals. The war had changed everything about human society. Every factory now produced weapons. Every school taught military tactics along with mathematics and history. "The outer colonies are holding," Admiral Choi Yuna reported. "Mars has become a fortress that the aliens cannot crack. Our asteroid bases are destroying their supply ships faster than they can replace them." General Oh Min spread star charts across the table. "Intelligence suggests they are running low on fuel and ammunition. If we can destroy their main supply depot, they will be trapped in our system." President Yoon studied the charts. "Where is their depot?" "Europa. They have turned Jupiter's ice moon into their primary base. It is heavily defended, but if we can take it, the war turns in our favor." The battle for Europa began at dawn, Earth time. 300 human ships approached the frozen moon in formations that made no sense to alien tactical computers. Captain Songday led the first wave, his converted mining vessels loaded with the new quantum weapons Baesu had designed. War Prime Nethgul watched the approaching human fleet with growing dread. These were not the same desperate defenders he had faced 3 months ago. These ships moved with purpose and coordination, their weapons charged with energies that his sensors could barely measure. All ships prepare for orbital bombardment, he ordered. Destroy them before they reach the moon. But the humans had learned from every previous battle. As the alien weapons fired, the human ships scattered in patterns that seemed random but were actually carefully calculated. Dr. Kim's mathematical models predicted exactly where each shot would go, allowing the human ships to dodge attacks that should have been impossible to avoid. Commander An Quan led the ground assault on Europa's surface installations. His troops had trained for months in zero-gravity combat, using techniques developed specifically for fighting aliens in their own environment. Remember, he told his soldiers as they prepared to land, they are bigger and stronger than us individually, but they have never faced humans who refuse to stay dead. The landing was a disaster that turned into victory. Half the human dropships were destroyed before reaching Europa's surface, but the survivors did something no alien species had ever done before. Instead of retreating, they went underground. Europa's ice surface was riddled with tunnels and caverns. The human soldiers used these natural formations to move unseen beneath the alien base. When they struck, it was from below, where the aliens had never thought to place defenses. Commander An Quan personally led the assault on the main power station. His team of 12 soldiers faced over 100 alien defenders, each one genetically enhanced for superior combat ability. The battle should have been over in minutes. Instead, it lasted 6 hours. The humans used the narrow tunnels to negate the aliens' size advantage. They used explosive devices to collapse sections of the base, trapping large groups of enemies. Most importantly, they refused to give up even when wounded or surrounded. When the power station fell, Europa's defense grid went dark. Captain Song Day's fleet immediately began bombing alien positions from orbit, while human ground troops swept through the base like a virus. War Prime Nethgul received the news of Europa's fall while fighting off human boarding parties on his own ship. Captain Park Mina had led a desperate assault on the Deathbringer itself, using small ships to slip through the massive vessel's defenses. War Prime, his weapons officer, reported, "The humans have taken the armory. They are using our own weapons against us." Nethgul drew his personal combat blade, a weapon that had killed 7 species leaders. "Then we fight them hand to hand. Show these mammals what void hunters are truly capable of." But even in personal combat, the humans proved unpredictable. Sergeant Lim Na, a small woman who barely reached Nethgul's chest, faced the War Prime in single combat. She should have died instantly. Instead, she did something that confused the alien warrior completely. She ran away. Nethgul pursued her through his own ship's corridors, confident in his superior speed and strength. Too late, he realized that Sergeant Lim was not fleeing. She was leading him into a trap. 20 human soldiers waited in ambush. Their combined firepower brought down the mighty War Prime in seconds. The leader of the galaxy's most feared military force was captured by a species he had considered barely intelligent animals. As Europa burned and the Deathbringer fell under human control, the remaining Void Hunter ships began retreating toward the outer solar system. For the first time in their species' history, they were running from an enemy. Dr. Kim Hyun stood in the captured alien command center, studying displays that showed the locations of every remaining Void Hunter ship. "They are trying to reach the system's edge," he told Admiral Choi Yuna. "If they escape to hyperspace, they will return with reinforcements." Admiral Choi smiled grimly. "Then we make sure none of them leave." Captain Park Mina, "How quickly can you adapt their quantum communication network?" Park Mina studied the alien. "Equipment. Give me 12 hours, I can turn their own coordination system against them." "Do it. It is time to finish this war." The tide had turned completely. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was just beginning to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of when their survival was threatened. War Prime Nethgul sat in a human prison cell, staring at walls made of material his species had never seen before. Through the small window he could see human ships being constructed in vast orbital shipyards. Each new vessel was larger and more powerful than the last. The humans were not just defending themselves anymore. They were preparing for something much bigger. "What have we awakened?" he whispered to the empty cell. Outside, humanity's war machine grew stronger with each passing day. The galaxy had sent its best to destroy them. Soon, the galaxy would learn what happened when humanity decided to fight back. The remaining Void Hunter ships huddled together beyond Mars like wounded animals. Less than 3,000 warriors survived from the 10,000 who had entered the system with such confidence. Sub-Commander Krell Knox stared at the tactical display showing human ships surrounding them on all sides. War Prime Nethgul was captured 3 days ago, he reported to the other ship commanders. The humans now control Europa, the asteroid belt, and most of our supply bases. We are trapped. The alien commanders had never faced such a situation. In 3,000 years of conquest, the Void Hunters had never been forced to retreat. Their enemies had always surrendered or died quickly. These humans were different. They grew stronger with each battle. Dr. Kim Hyun worked frantically in his captured alien laboratory. Around him, human technicians studied exotic matter samples taken from Void Hunter weapon systems. Each test revealed new weaknesses in alien technology. "The power source is unstable," he explained to Chief Engineer Han Sol. "When exposed to specific electromagnetic frequencies, the exotic matter begins to break down. If we can build a weapon that broadcasts the right frequency, their ships will literally tear themselves apart." Han Sol examined the readings. "How long to build such a weapon?" 2 weeks if we work around the clock, but we need to test it carefully. One mistake and we could destroy half our own fleet. While the scientists worked, General Omin planned the final offensive. His fleet now included ships built with human engineering and alien technology. Each vessel was a hybrid creation that neither species could have built alone. "We surround them completely," he told his captains. "No escape routes, no mercy. Every alien ship must be destroyed or captured. We cannot allow even one to return to their masters with news of their defeat." Captain Songdae commanded the largest human battle group. His flagship was a converted asteroid mining platform equipped with weapons that could crack small moons. Around him flew hundreds of smaller ships, each one crewed by veterans who had learned to fight aliens in the hardest school possible. "Remember," he broadcast to his fleet, "these creatures came here to kill every man, woman, and child in our species. They wanted to wipe us from existence. Today we show them what extinction really looks like." The first engagement began near Jupiter's fourth moon. A group of alien ships tried to break through the human blockade using their remaining stealth technology. But humanity had captured too many Void Hunter ships. They knew exactly how alien stealth systems worked. Captain Park Mina led the intercepting force. Her ships appeared out of nowhere, surrounding the aliens before they could react. The battle lasted only minutes. When it ended, 12 more alien ships had been destroyed. Dr. Kim's new weapon was tested for the first time during the battle for Titan. The massive device, mounted on a converted space station, fired a beam of precisely tuned electromagnetic energy at a cluster of alien ships. The results exceeded every prediction. The exotic matter in the alien weapons began to collapse at the quantum level. Energy feedback raced through their ship systems like a virus. One by one, the alien vessels began to explode from within. "It works," Dr. Kim reported to Admiral Choi Yuna. "The feedback effect spreads from ship to ship through their quantum communication network. We can destroy entire fleets with a single shot." Sub-Commander Krell Knox watched in horror as half his remaining fleet destroyed itself. The humans had turned the Void Hunter's greatest strength into a weapon of mass destruction. The quantum network that had coordinated their attacks for 3,000 years now carried death to every connected ship. "Cut all quantum links immediately," he ordered. Full communication silence. But it was too late. The damage was done. Cut off from their coordination network, The surviving alien ships became easy prey for human hunting packs. Captain after captain fell to coordinated human attacks. War Prime Nethgul sat in his cell on Luna, watching through security cameras as his proud fleet died. Human interrogators visited him daily, asking questions about galactic hegemony locations and military strength. "Why do you resist?" he asked his human guard. "We offered you quick death, now your suffering will be legendary." The guard, a young woman named Lieutenant Yijun, looked at him with cold eyes. "You made one mistake, alien. You threatened our children. Nothing in this universe is more dangerous than humans protecting their families." The final battles were not battles at all. They were executions. Human ships hunted down the last Void Hunter survivors with systematic efficiency. Each alien vessel found itself surrounded by superior numbers and superior firepower. Some aliens tried to surrender. President Yoon Hana's response was broadcast across all frequencies. "You came here to commit genocide. You will receive the same mercy you plan to show our children. None." Engineer Bei Su had perfected the art of turning alien technology against its creators. Her latest creation was a hunter-killer drone that could track Void Hunter ships across vast distances. The drones were small, fast, and packed with explosives built from alien exotic matter. "Release all drones," General Oh Min ordered. "Find every alien ship in this system. Leave nothing alive." The drones spread through the solar system like a swarm of metal wasps. Their sensors, based on captured alien technology, could detect Void Hunter ships even when powered down and hidden behind asteroids. One by one, the hidden alien vessels were discovered and destroyed. Each death brought humanity one step closer to total victory. Sub-Commander Krelnox made his final stand near Neptune, where this war had begun. His last 50 ships formed a defensive circle and prepared to sell their lives dearly. Around them, 300 human vessels moved into attack. "Position. Today we die with honor," Krelnox told his warriors. "The humans may destroy our bodies, but they cannot destroy the memory of what the Void Hunters once were." The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, no alien ship remained intact. Sub-Commander Krelnox's flagship was the last to fall, destroyed by concentrated fire from 20 human vessels. Captain Songdae watched the final explosion fade to nothing. All stations report. Any surviving alien vessels? The responses came back negative from every sector. The mighty Void Hunter fleet, terror of the galaxy for 3,000 years, no longer existed. Dr. Kim Hyun stood in Earth's orbital command center, studying sensor readings that showed empty space where the alien fleet had once been. "It is finished," he reported to President Yoon Hana. "No alien ships remain operational in our system." But the president was not celebrating. She stared at star charts showing the locations of hegemony worlds beyond the solar system. "No, Dr. Kim, this is just the beginning." Admiral Choi Yuna understood immediately. "They will send more fleets when this one fails to report back. Then, we make sure no more fleets come," President Yoon said. "We take the fight to them before they can organize another attack." General Oh Min smiled grimly. "Our ships are faster than theirs now. Our weapons are stronger. Most importantly, we know where they live." The war for the solar system was over. Humanity had won completely. But the real war, the war for the galaxy itself, was about to begin. In Seo, the ruins of the Deathbringer's bridge, human technicians downloaded alien star charts and communication codes. Every piece of information brought them closer to understanding the true scope of the galactic hegemony. Chief Engineer Han Sol studied the data with growing excitement. "We now have the locations of 12 hegemony capital worlds, their communication frequencies, their military protocols, everything we need to strike back." War Prime Nethgul was brought to witness the launch of humanity's first interstellar fleet. 1,000 ships, each one built with the best of human engineering and alien technology, prepared to carry war beyond the solar system for the first time in human history. "This is impossible," he whispered. "You cannot build such a fleet in mere months." Lieutenant Yijun smiled coldly. "You still do not understand us. When humanity is threatened, we can do anything. Your people wanted to hunt us to extinction. Now you will learn what it feels like to be prey." The alien prisoner watched in growing horror as ship after ship launched toward the stars. Each vessel carried human crews trained in the art of war against superior technology. Each crew had learned their lessons in the hardest school possible, fighting for the survival of their species. The galaxy had sent its best warriors to exterminate humanity. Zero had returned. Now it was humanity's turn to visit the stars, carrying a simple message. Threaten Earth's children at your own peril. Trice. Hunters had become the hunted. The prey had become predators, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The last 300 Void Hunter ships fled toward the edge of the solar system like wounded animals seeking escape. Their once mighty fleet had been reduced to desperate survivors, each ship damaged and running low on fuel. Behind them, humanity's war machine pursued with relentless efficiency. Sub-Commander Krelnox had taken command after War Prime Nethgul's capture. His flagship, the Shadowbane, led the desperate retreat toward the hyperspace jump point near Pluto. If they could reach deep space, they might escape to warn the hegemony about humanity's unexpected strength. How long until we reach minimum jump distance? Krelnox asked his navigation officer. 18 hours, Sub-Commander. But the humans are gaining on us. Admiral Choi Yuna commanded the pursuit from her flagship, the newly constructed Defiance. Around her sailed 800 human vessels, each one equipped with weapons designed specifically for hunting Void Hunters. They are heading for the system's edge, reported Captain Park Mina. If any of them escape, they will return with reinforcements. That cannot happen, Admiral Choi replied. Dr. Kim, what is the status of Operation Lockdown? Dr. Kim Hyun worked at his command station, fingers flying over controls that managed dozens of quantum interference satellites. The satellites are in position. When I activate them, they will create a hyperspace disruption field around the entire solar system. Nothing will be able to jump to faster than light speed. The quantum satellites had been built using technology stolen from captured Void Hunter ships. Human engineers had reversed the alien hyperspace drives, turning them into weapons that could trap enemy fleets in normal space. Activate the field, Admiral Choi ordered. Invisible energy spread outward from hundreds of satellites hidden throughout the solar system. The quantum field that allowed faster-than-light travel began to collapse in a sphere around the sun. Any ship trying to jump to hyperspace would find itself trapped in normal space instead. Krelnox watched in growing panic as his ship's hyperspace drive failed to engage. What is happening? Why will the drive not activate? His chief engineer examined the readings with confusion. The hyperspace field is collapsing, Sub-Commander. Something is preventing quantum tunnel formation. The humans, Krelnox whispered. They have learned to trap us here. President Yoon Hana addressed the solar system from Earth's capital. Her message was broadcast to every human settlement and every remaining alien ship. To the Void Hunters who thought they could exterminate humanity, your fleet is destroyed. Your commander is captured. Your escape routes are sealed. You came here as predators. You will die as prey. The final hunt began in the cold darkness beyond Neptune. Human ships spread out in hunting packs, each group assigned to track down specific alien vessels. There would be no escape, no mercy, and no survivors. Captain Song Dae led the largest hunting group. His converted mining ships had been transformed into weapons of war through months of desperate innovation. Each vessel carried crews who had learned to hate the aliens with cold, professional efficiency. Target the engine sections first, he instructed his captains. Disable their ability to run, then close in for the kill. The first group of fleeing aliens was caught 12 hours into the pursuit. 20 Void Hunter ships found themselves surrounded by 60 human vessels. The battle was over in minutes. No alien ship survived. Engineer Bei Su monitored the hunt from Mars Command. Her quantum tracking systems could locate any Void Hunter ship within 1 billion kilometers. Each alien vessel showed up on her displays like a bright star against the darkness. Group 7 has been eliminated, she reported. Groups 8 and 9 are surrounded. No aliens have escaped the inner perimeter. The psychological pressure was as deadly as the physical pursuit. Isolated alien crews, cut off from their command network, and watching their comrades die one by one began to break down mentally. The Void Hunters had never been prey before. They had no training for this kind of fear. Some alien ships tried to negotiate. They broadcast surrender offers on all frequencies, promising to share hegemony, secrets in exchange for their lives. President Yoon Hana's response was always the same: no mercy for those who planned genocide. War Prime Nethgal watched the systematic destruction of his fleet from his prison cell on Luna. Human guards brought him regular updates on the hunt's progress. Each report showed fewer surviving ships. "Why do you show me this?" he asked Lieutenant Yi Jun. "Because you need to understand what you have awakened," she replied. "Your people thought humans were weak prey animals. Now you will watch your mighty fleet disappear ship by ship." Dr. Kim's tracking technology had evolved beyond simple detection. His new quantum resonance scanners could identify individual aliens aboard each ship. The humans knew exactly how many enemies remained alive and where they were hiding. 47 ships left, he reported to Admiral Choi. All concentrated near the outer system's edge. They are making a final stand. "Then we end this," the Admiral replied. The last battle took place in the shadow of a rogue planetoid that had wandered into the outer solar system millions of years ago. Sub-Commander Krelnox had gathered his surviving ships around the small world, hoping its mass would provide some protection from human weapons. Instead, the humans used the planetoid as a weapon. Captain Park Mina's engineering teams planted massive explosive charges in the small world's core. When they detonated, the planetoid shattered into millions of fragments that tore through the alien formation like shrapnel. The surviving Void Hunter ships were picked off one by human hunting packs. Each alien vessel found itself alone, surrounded and facing impossible odds. Krelnox made his final stand aboard the Shadowbane. His ship was the last alien vessel still fighting, its crew reduced to a handful of desperate survivors. Around him, 200 human ships closed in for the kill. "This is Captain Songday of the human fleet," came the transmission. "Surrender now, and your death will be quick." Krelnox looked around his ruined bridge. Half his crew was dead. His weapons were failing, his shields were gone. But he was a Void Hunter, and Void Hunters did not surrender. "I am Sub-Commander Krelnox of the Hegemony Fleet," he broadcast back. "We came here to exterminate your species. We failed, but others will come. The galaxy will not let humanity survive. Then the galaxy will learn the same lesson you did." Songday replied. "Humans protect their families. Anyone who threatens our children becomes our enemy." The final barrage lasted only seconds. The Shadowbane exploded in a brilliant flash that could be seen from Mars. With its destruction, the last Void Hunter ship in the solar system ceased to exist. Admiral Choi. Una received confirmation reports from every hunting group. "All alien vessels have been destroyed," she announced. "The solar system is secure." But even as humanity celebrated its total victory, preparations for the next phase of war continued. The shipyards around Earth worked around the clock, building vessels designed not for defense but for conquest. General Omin studied star charts showing hegemony worlds. "They wanted to hunt us to extinction," he said to President Yoon Hana. "Now we return the favor." Chief Engineer Han Sol had reverse-engineered alien hyperspace technology. Human ships could now travel between stars faster than any hegemony vessel. The hunters were about to become the hunted on a galactic scale. Dr. Kim completed his final analysis of the battle. Total alien casualties: 10,000 ships and approximately 2 million individual warriors. Human casualties: 400 ships and 30,000 personnel. The numbers told the story. Humanity had faced the galaxy's most feared military force and destroyed it utterly, while losing only a fraction of their own strength. War Prime Nethgal was brought to witness the launch of humanity's revenge fleet. 1,000 ships prepared to carry war to the stars, each one carrying human crews trained in the art of systematic extermination. "Your species has doomed itself," he told his guards. "The hegemony commands millions of ships. You cannot fight the entire galaxy." "Lieutenant," Ijin smiled coldly, "watch us." The first wave of human ships disappeared into hyperspace, carrying death to worlds that had never known war. Behind them, Earth's factories continued building more vessels, more weapons, more instruments of revenge. The galaxy had sent its best to exterminate humanity. Zero had returned. Now 12 hegemony worlds would learn what it felt like to face extinction at human hands. The war for the solar system was over. The war for the galaxy was about to begin, and humanity had learned. The most important lesson of all: the best defense is a devastating offense. 1 year had passed since the first Void Hunter ship entered the solar system. Earth now commanded a fleet of 3,000 warships, each one built with technology that combined human engineering with alien science. The Sol system had become the most heavily fortified region of space in the galaxy. President Yoon Hana stood before the United Earth Assembly, addressing representatives from every human world. Behind her, holographic displays showed the current state of humanity's war machine. "The aliens came here to destroy us completely," she said. "They failed. Now we ensure they never try again." Dr. Kim Hyun had spent the year studying every piece of alien technology captured during the war. His research teams had made breakthrough after breakthrough, advancing human science by centuries in mere months. "We now understand how the galactic hegemony maintains control," he reported to the Assembly. "They use fear and superior technology to keep other species in line, but their technology is no longer superior to ours." Engineer Bae Soo commanded the largest shipbuilding operation in human history. The asteroid belt had been converted into vast construction yards where new warships took shape daily. Each vessel incorporated the latest weapons and defenses developed from alien technology. "Our new ships are 50% faster than hegemony vessels," she reported. "Our weapons are twice as powerful. Most importantly, our crews have been trained by veterans who learned to fight aliens in real combat." Admiral Choi Yuna had been promoted to Supreme Fleet Commander. Under her leadership, humanity's military had evolved from a desperate defense force into a machine of conquest, capable of challenging entire galactic civilizations. "The first phase of our counterattack is complete," she announced. 12 hegemony worlds have been neutralized. Their military bases are destroyed. Their fleets are scattered. The galaxy now knows that humanity cannot be threatened with impunity. The reports from the 12 simultaneous attacks painted a picture of devastating human victory. Captain Park Mina had led the assault on Hegemony Prime, the aliens' capital world. Her fleet had destroyed their orbital defenses in less than 6 hours. "They were not prepared for our tactics," she reported. The hegemony had grown comfortable, after thousands of years without serious opposition. When we attacked from multiple directions simultaneously, their coordination network collapsed. Captain Songdae had targeted the hegemony's primary military academy on the world of Kethmore. His attack had eliminated an entire generation of alien military leaders before they could graduate. "We gave them the same choice they gave us," he said. "Surrender and die quickly or resist and suffer." Most chose to resist. General Oh Min coordinated all 12 attacks from his command ship in deep space. His forces had moved with precision timing, ensuring that every hegemony world came under attack at exactly the same moment. The psychological impact was as important as the military victory, he explained. When the Hegemony Council realized that humans could strike 12 worlds simultaneously, they understood that nowhere was safe from our revenge. The captured alien star charts had revealed the locations of over 300 hegemony worlds. Each one was now a potential target for human attack. The aliens who had once ruled the galaxy now lived in constant fear of human retaliation. War Prime. Nethgul had been kept alive specifically to witness humanity's transformation from prey to predator. His former captors brought him regular reports of hegemony defeats and human victories. "This is impossible," he whispered, as he read the latest intelligence reports. "The hegemony has ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. How can one primitive species challenge our entire civilization?" Lieutenant Yi-jun, now promoted to colonel, smiled at his confusion. "Because you made one critical mistake. You underestimated what humans become when you threaten our families." The truth was even more devastating than Nethgul realized. Humanity had not just matched alien technology, they had surpassed it. Human innovation, driven by the desperate need to survive, had produced weapons and strategies that the stagnant hegemony could not counter. Dr. Kim's latest breakthrough had been the development of quantum cascade weapons. These devices could destroy entire fleets by triggering chain reactions in alien power systems. A single human ship could now eliminate hundreds of enemy vessels. Chief Engineer Han Sol had perfected hyperspace interdiction technology. Human fleets could now trap enemy ships in normal space, preventing escape or reinforcement. The galaxy's former masters found themselves helpless against human tactical superiority. The second wave of human attacks targeted the hegemony's industrial worlds. Bei Su led these missions personally, using her knowledge of manufacturing to identify the most critical targets. "We destroyed their ability to build new ships," she reported. "Their shipyards are gone. Their weapon factories are rubble. It will take them decades to rebuild their military capacity." But humanity was not content to simply destroy hegemony military power. President Yoon Hana had authorized a more ambitious plan: the complete liberation of every species the hegemony had conquered. For 10,000 years, the galaxy has lived under alien oppression, she announced. Hundreds of species have been enslaved or exterminated by hegemony forces. Today we offer them freedom. Captain Park Mina commanded the liberation fleets that spread across the galaxy. Her ships arrived at oppressed worlds carrying a simple message: humanity would help any species that wanted to fight for independence. The response was overwhelming. Dozens of alien races that had lived under hegemony rule for millennia suddenly found themselves supported by human military technology and tactical expertise. Rebellions broke out on 300 worlds simultaneously. The Galactic Hegemony Council met an emergency session on their hidden fortress world of Nexus Prime. The 12 species that had ruled the galaxy now faced the collapse of their empire. Commander Vextar, the same alien who had first proposed humanity's extermination, stared at tactical displays showing human fleets throughout hegemony space. "How many ships do they have now?" asked the ethereal representative. "Our intelligence suggests over 10,000 vessels," Vextar replied, "all equipped with hybrid technology that combines their engineering with our captured systems." The massive rock creature slammed its fist on the council table. 10,000 ships in 1 year? This is impossible." "Nothing is impossible for humans when they are motivated," Vextar said bitterly. "We wanted to exterminate them quickly before they could become a threat. Instead, we created the greatest threat the galaxy has ever known." The final phase of humanity's revenge came when General O Min led a massive fleet to Nexus Prime itself. 2,000 human ships emerged from hyperspace around the secret hegemony capital, catching the alien leadership completely by surprise. The battle for Nexus Prime lasted 3 days. When it ended, the Galactic Hegemony Council had been captured or killed. The alien government that had ruled space for 10,000 years ceased to exist. Standing in the ruins of the Hegemony Council chambers, General O Min broadcast a message to every intelligent species in the galaxy. The Galactic Hegemony sent their best warriors to exterminate humanity. 0 returned. This is humanity's response to your extermination order. Consider this a declaration of war against tyranny throughout the galaxy. The message was received on thousands of worlds. Species that had never heard of humans suddenly learned that these unknown aliens had destroyed the galaxy's most powerful government in just 1 year of fighting. War Prime Nethgul was brought to witness the final ceremony. In the former hegemony capital, President Yoon Hana signed treaties with representatives from over 200 liberated species. "You created this," Colonel Yijun told him. "When you decided to exterminate us, you awakened something that will reshape the entire galaxy." The former Void Hunter commander watched in horror as his civilization's conquerors were welcomed as liberators by species across the galaxy. The humans had not just won a war, they had fundamentally changed the balance of power in space. Dr. Kim Hyun presented his final report to the Earth Assembly. "The galactic hegemony is finished. Their military is destroyed. Their government has fallen. Most importantly, the galaxy now knows that humanity will defend itself against any threat." Engineer Bei Su stood beside him, displaying technical specifications for humanity's newest warships. We are now building vessels that incorporate technologies from dozens of different species. Each new alliance teaches us something that makes us stronger. Admiral Choi Yuna addressed the strategic implications. Humanity now commands the largest fleet in galactic history. We have allies on 600 worlds. Any species that threatens us will face not just human retaliation, but the combined forces of every free civilization in the galaxy. The transformation was complete. In 18 months, humanity had evolved from a species facing extinction to the galaxy's dominant military power. The aliens who had once ruled space now lived in exile on remote worlds, powerless to challenge the new order. Captain Song Dai commanded the border patrols that protected human space from any remaining hegemony remnants. His ships carried sensors that could detect alien vessels at vast distances and weapons that could destroy entire fleets. We maintain constant vigilance, he reported. Any hostile force that approaches human territory is immediate low.